our let's say this year. Who am I starting with? Calvin, I think it's you, I think, isn't it? No, I already went through it. Didn't I do this?
Yeah, I did.
Sure, no, I did. I picked on you. Calvin, I'm picking on you. Give me a let's statement, please. Good. Keep going. Okay, just one second. All right, guys. Can you focus here, please? Okay, Barely, can I get the first equation, please?
X y equals, oh, wait, F.
Okay, good. Okay, so when I was explaining this to people, some people were getting confused on these, so I'm just going to explain this one last time. This is the mass equation. So F is a mass plus another mass equals a third mass, okay? And that's the best way to think of it. What do we get, Luke? What do we get for the second equation?
Either F equals C minus S.
Yeah. We'll leave that for right now, though. Let's get to the second equation. Yeah.
So it could be, you do, oh, I had 24X,
Yeah.
26, 1Y, 1, 20.
That's okay. Now, think when we do this, guys, okay, so what I did here, this was a decimal times your mass, plus a decimal times your mass equals a decimal times your mass. Okay, so it has to follow the same way as that. Okay, okay now, next that week you're out. All right, Emily. We have two equations, two unknowns. One use substitution or elimination for this. Thank you, Emily. Okay, so guys, can we please stop, please? Right. Emily, so we're going to do substitution. What variable are we going to isolate, please?
The y.
Okay, which is probably your s up here. I'm going to do that. Okay. So I'm going to say use equation 1, and I'm going to call this s equals 230 minus f. Now it makes, again, some people like elimination better. Elimination will still give you the same answer. Okay, and if you use x and y and you substitute for the f, it will still all work the same way. All right, Jasmine, can you be brave, please, and try and take it from here?
It should be 0.40x for f.
Yeah.
Plus 0.61 brackets 230 minus f equals 0.56 times 2.
Great. And I should probably do it. Okay. All right. Lexi, can you be the human calculator, please? Do 61 times 230, please. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, wait, hold on.
Around 200 should be right.
Okay, 140.3.
140.3. Sorry, go ahead. So what she just did there, hopefully, was just this and this, right? Is that good? And can you also, while you're at the calculator, can you do 0.56 times 230 for me, please? On the ladder, 128.8.
128.8.
Okay, great. All right, Noah, can you solve for, oh goodness, what happened here? Oh, sugar, I submitted the wrong one.
Yeah.
Just wait, we'll fix it. We'll fix it, don't worry, we'll fix it. Just pretend we didn't write that. Oh, sugar. I think we're good now. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay, because what I needed to have happen, right, the point is after the substitution, we should only have one variable, right? So before we had two variables, and that wasn't it. All right, Noah, can you be brave and solve for s, please? What do we do?
Isolate the F.
Thank you, Alistair. Can you do that for me, please?
There. You move it over.
Good, what are we moving over?
Over to S. So it'll be positive 0.61.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to
I'm gonna maybe move the 140 instead. What does the 140 change into when I move it across? Yeah, opposite sign, so 140 points. Alistair, can you neat that up for me, please? What does this turn into?
negative 0.11. And equals negative 11.5.
Is it 12 or 11? Is it 12 or 11? Is it 11.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I trust her. It looks like 12 for some reason, but that's okay. Okay, good. Derek, next step, please.
You isolate S by control.
Yeah. I want to get to see the last one. So what'd you get for that?
54.671 or 672.
Okay, can somebody, and I'll open this up to anybody here. What does that actually mean in English? Yeah, Molly, no.
That's the amount of the 61%.
Right, so there'd be 54.672 kilograms of 61% lead, whatever, okay? Yes.
I got 4.76.
Is it 67 or 76? 76? Thank you for correcting that, okay? So I'm deaf, so that's, yes. Go ahead.
51 point, like I got the 7.6 whatever, like 54.76, about 40%.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, I did for like my first equation, you know, how it's like
Yeah.
plus 5 equals 230, I did x equals 230.
Well, just make sure you're subbing the right one, right? If you would have done that, you would have subbed in the first equation, not the second one. Right?
How do you know what one you're
How do
subbing?
you sub in the-
Well, because it depends on what the variables were, right? Just think, if you're saying this way, so just think here, guys, if I said S equals, I would get rid of this S here. Right, so if this was S equals 230 minus F, it would have been 0.4230 minus F equals that. So then I'm just going to finish this up here. This is 230. What does that turn into then? Well, a little louder, 75 point. 23824. Oh boy.
Oh, this is not cool. How do you have, what's this happening? You messed up. The S are where the S's are supposed to be.
Oh.
That's why. I was like, I got the messed up. Added up all the
What happened?
S's, it's 0.4 F. See, look way up.
Ah, cried.
There's no.
That makes the whole question up?
Yeah, and they're just vice versa.
Yeah.
Alright. Because I knew the first line I thought was right, but it really wasn't. Okay. Let's just ignore this one. We'll try something else here. So you got the okay. The difficult part about this one, even though Mr. Sadler got things backwards, okay, because you're right. Sorry, Spencer, you're wonderful. You'll be a wonderful doctor one day. Okay. The whole thing that we need to get, guys, the difficult part for these questions, for Nick and everyone else, is this first page. Like, this is the tricky part. Then right here. Okay. Well, if you can get this, you've mastered this question. The second part is the thank you. Sorry, I got my
It's just that the at the end is vice versa.
so it should be backwards. Yeah, thank you. Okay, one more question. I want to start my lesson if possible. If you have a quadratic question, it's going to be in today's lesson. Is there anything else you want to go through from elimination, substitution, or fractions?
Either D over T.
Don't worry about that for tomorrow.
Take off the phone that.
What's that? You want speed? Don't be on tomorrow.
So like, let's not find it.
No, we will not find this one tomorrow. I
And we math.
promise. Okay, here we go. Quadratic word problems.
Is this a new lesson?
Yes.
This is not one.
Oh, is that what? I'm right.
Yes.
Quadratic words on
Yes. Okay, this entire unit you may have noticed so far, you may not have. Okay, but hopefully you have. I lost a black marker. So let me see a black marker for them. You may have noticed so far this unit. Okay, can I please do this, guys? This entire unit, we haven't done one word problem yet. You may have, when you were doing your homework, Nick, you go to that, please. When you were doing your homework this unit, you may have noticed, like, the questions I gave you were all, algebra, and then questions 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and every section was a word problem. We skipped over those. Okay, we're coming back right now this entire unit to do nothing but word problems. Every single question will be a word problem. And the reason I chose to do it like that is because I want you guys to master quadratic formula, factoring, and vertexes. And looking at the last test, most people ace the calculation part, which is wonderful. If you need the calculation part, the word problem stuff is easy. For most people, hopefully this will be a piece of cake, and especially today's lesson. Okay? So here we go, quadratic word problems. Now we're going to say for this unit and for every time we deal with a quadratic. Remember a few words. Okay, so just leave a little space between to the right of each of those. So solve, when it says solve, we're going to be doing something. When it says when, we're going to be doing something. When it says maximum, minimum, optimal, highest, lowest, we're going to be doing something. So it's, what's that? Just like 2 sentences, like 4 words at the most beside it. Okay, is all you're going to be leaving. Okay. Now the reason I'm telling you this, and I want to make a big deal about this, is because on the word problems, I'm going to say solve, and what's going to happen is Spencer, I'm going to pick on you today. He's going to raise his hand and say, Mr. Sadler, does that mean quadratic formula or complete the square or factor? And I'm going to say, yeah, okay, because that's the trick in these ones to figure out which is which. If I were to say solve an equation, what do I do for solve an equation? To solve. For anybody here, some of you brave. Is it quadratic formula or is it completing the square? Is it vertex or is it solve for x? What's it going to be? Yes. Quadratic formula, okay? So I'm going to say factor or quad formula. Okay, so if the question says solve this, whatever you see solve, it's going to be factoring the quadratic formula. Okay, we'll go down to the bottom, we'll come to the middle in a sec. If the question says find the maximum height of the ball, find the minimum swing of Spider-Man's web, find the optimal price of coffee at Tim Hortons, find the highest that Caleb can kick a soccer ball, find the lowest that Luke's mark is going to be this year. Any of those 5 things is going to be what? Go ahead. Completing the square. So this is your vertex, which is completing the square. Now what happens historically, and this is the first new way I've taught this, where I have done all the math first and then the word problems at the end. People get confused, they just guess. Okay, as soon as you hear the word maximum or best, you got to be thinking vertex. Okay, that's going to be very, very important. Anything else is factoring completing the square. So anything that says when, like when is it 10 o'clock, that would be what? That's going to be factoring or completing or quad formula. Well, we'll deal with that in a second.
So it's the same as solve?
Right on.
How would you put solve?
Because the question will say, when does the ball hit the ground? Okay, or when does the rocket reach a height of 20 meters? Okay, so that's the thing, but they mean the same thing as solve, all right? Okay, so we'll go through lots of examples today, okay, just to make sure this is sort of clear. And this is just getting sort of real words into figuring out what to do from that, all right? So basically the way to help think is if you hear the word maximum, highest, lowest, you're doing completing the square. Any other time, you're factoring, okay, or quad formula. Yes?
Wait, so really this is like less work than the you just did because you don't have to grab.
Oh, we might have to as well, too.
No. But you already.
Yes, so a lot of the times you don't have to graph, yes. Okay, all right. Here we go, example 1. It says a ball is thrown up in the air. its height, y, in meters, after t seconds is h equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 38 t plus 1.75. Okay, now this is considered to be an easy, relatively easy word problem. Even though the decimals are there and it looks messy, because I'm giving you the equation to start. Okay, if I give you the equation, this is just a calculation question. If I don't give you the equation, which will be the second half of this unit, and you've got to make an equation, then life's going to be slightly more difficult because there's an extra step. I'll read through that again if you're struggling to see my printing. It says, a ball is thrown in the air. Its height, it says y. Should be h. I'll put a y here then. After t seconds is y equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 38t plus 1.75. Okay? Part A is going to say, what is the height of the ball after 3 seconds?
Is that 2 seconds or 4 seconds?
T, that is t after. Sorry. I'm going to pause in the video there. I'm going to write this down, and then I'll. Actually, this could have been Caleb's question.
Oh,
Caleb kicks the ball. He's not here today. It's not fun to say that. Okay, I'm going to pause in the video here, and we'll figure out how to.